Welcome to this intermediate class where we're going to focus on a little bit more abdominal strength and stability using the balls. So you can blow this up as hard or as soft as you want it. Obviously, the more blown up it is, the harder these exercises will become. And this is going to be an osteoporosis safe class, so there's not going to be much flexion. We're going to look at lots of things from a hinge and keeping those abdominals really nice and long. So we're going to start by coming down onto your back. Grab a pillow if you want it, but you are going to be popping that ball underneath your bottom. So it should be sort of rested around your tailbone, lower back. And in this position, it should feel quite comfortable, and that's when you know if you're roughly in the right place. So with your hands down by your side, just let your upper back and shoulders just settle into the mat. And as you sigh out, we're going to lift one leg to tabletop and then the other. So remember, tabletop's a little bit closer to you than you think here, because normally it would be about there, but because our bottom's up in the air, we're coming a little bit closer than you think. So we're going to start really nice and simply. You're going to see if you can keep the knee bend the same, and as you sigh out, you're going to take one leg towards the floor in a toe tap, and you're going to bring it back in again. And we're going to do the other side. So you're trying to move from that hip. You're trying to move on your out breath down, and see if that leg that's staying up can stay really nice and still. So you can see I've just put my hands by my thighs, so if my leg starts to press into my hand, I'm going to feel it a little bit more. But see if you can really keep that leg nice and quiet. And this is just to warm up those abdominals, those lower abdominals, and it shouldn't really feel like it's in your back. It should feel like it's more across this mid-lower portion of your tummy, but also into the front of your thighs. We're going to do a couple more there. And we're going to go last one on each side. I realised we just started on the right side. So pause when you get to the top. You can let those knees drop if you need to, give yourself a shake. But otherwise, we're going to glue those legs together from your big toe, ankles, knees, all the way through to your thighs. And as you breathe out, we're just going to start to take the legs away from you. And I want you to pause at the point where you start to feel it work in your lower tummy muscles. So it shouldn't be too far away from you. You're going to hold it there, and you're going to try and breathe. So you should feel that those lower tummy muscles are working a relative amount, but you should still be able to breathe, and you should still be able to squeeze those legs together. And that arch in the back is staying the same. And we're just going to bring those knees back in again. We're going to go again. So squeeze everything together, start to take it away from you. And the moment you start to feel your lower tummy, so that lower third, kick on, you're going to pause. And you're going to start to just breathe. So again, we're going to feel front of the thigh, lower third of tummy here. Keep that breath going. I want your tummy muscles to load for a little bit, particularly those lower abdominals. I know this is one of the hardest things for people to find normally. And is your back still the same? So your tummy is rising and falling with your breath. Your back isn't arched, but it's not trying to push into the floor to brace. You should be able to breathe. You should be able to sing. You should be able to hold a conversation. One more breath, and then bring it all the way in. You're going to pause here. From there, can you let yourself settle? You're going to take just one arm up to the ceiling. Then if you can, you're going to take the other. So settle yourself here. You'll feel your bottom kind of move. And then from there, we're going to go back to our toe taps. So as you sigh out, you're going to start to tap one leg towards the floor, bring it up, and the other leg. So we're going to alternate movements here. Now you've now got less base of support, so you might feel yourself rocking and rolling a little bit more. If you need to drop to tabletop or lazy tabletop here, you can. It's going to make it a little bit easier. But keep moving with your breath. So we're exhaling away, and we're inhaling up. We're going to do a couple more like that. So make this one your last one. And then you're going to pause and we're going to go straight for a straight leg. So it's like a single leg stretch. How low do you go? As low as you can stay on the ball and still not feel this in your back. So again, we're reaching out on our out breath. We're going to go one more each side and then we're going to start to bring in the arms. So pause here. We're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg, reach away from each other. Can you get a really nice long straight line? And then bring it all the way back in. And the other side. So all the way out. And then all the way back in. Oh, bit of a wobble from me there. We're going to keep alternating. So again, the arm, the leg that's staying still is trying to stay still the whole time rather than coming closer towards. You're trying to stay on that ball, and that arm and leg that's moving is going all the way to straight. So we're going to do a few more here. Last one. And then pause. We're going to try and do same side arm and leg. So reach the arm and the leg, same side away and back in. Again, use your breath out as you go away and back in. Keep going. So if you keep breathing, you should be able to move the whole way through your breath. And again, we're trying to stay really nice and stable on this ball. So we're working those lower abdominals. We're starting to work those obliques as well. So side tummy muscles. We're going to go one more here. And then pause. Ready for a bit of a rub your tummy, pat your head moment. So we're going to reach one leg away. The opposite arm is going to come out to the side. And then it all comes back in. And then we're going to change. So opposite arm, opposite leg, but the arm goes sideways, the leg goes away. We come back in. Opposite arm, opposite leg. So keep going. We're still using that breath. You should be feeling tummy, again, front of thighs. The lower you go, the more you're going to get through your lower abdominals as well. But that back really shouldn't be feeling it. You're trying to control that wobble. This is very much in your tummy and in the front of you. I'm going to do a few more here. Oop. So one more each side for me. Last one. Pause there. Leave the arms up, glue the legs together, give them a big squeeze from your toes all the way to your thighs. And as you breathe out, you're going to reach both legs away and in. So when you come in, see if you can release your sit bones so your hips fold in their socket. And again, how low do you go? As low as you can feel the control. And if your hands go down, you might feel that you can go a little bit further. But I'd like you to keep those hands up if you can, unless you're wobbling around all over the place. So we're going to go 2 more like that. We'll make this the last one, but you're going to hold it out there. We're going to open the legs, close the legs, and bring them back in. We're going to go again. So press away, open, close, and back in. Keep going. So you're using your breath out to reach away, open and close. Breath in to bring the legs back. We're going to go 3 more here. That should be firing up around your groin as well. Last one. Bring those knees in, let one leg, then the other come to the floor, lift your bottom up, let the ball come just out to the side for a second. And then from here, we're just going to get that spine moving quickly. So we're just going to go up into a double leg bridge, feeling that openness through the front of your thighs. And as you sigh out, just roll yourself all the way back down again. We're going to do just a couple more of those. So instead of going knees to chest, we're just coming up into a bridge. Again, just allowing our spine to settle, legs really supporting us here. So we're just going to do 2 more because this is less of an exercise, more of a little bit of active recovery. Last one. Then you're going to pause at the bottom, let everything go, keep hold of that ball, and we're going to roll onto your side. So from here, we're going to have the ball between your legs. And ideally, we'd like it between your feet. Your hand is going to go palm down to the floor and your ear is going to just rest on your shoulder. Now we're going to work through those side tummy muscles here. So if you can, try and take this top arm off. If it's on the floor, you're going to have to work significantly less. But you can start there for just a second until you know where we're going. So I want you to feel that you've got that little bit of space at your waist. So you're really reaching your legs away from you. And that's going to give you a little bit of space rather than lifting up your waist. From here, as you breathe out, you're going to lift those legs and lower them. So the harder your ball is, the more it's going to be doing this. So you've got to try and control it through that. So we're just going to lift and lower. Now keep pressing into the floor. So if you press into the floor with that bottom arm, can you lift and lower without folding at the hips? So if you feel like you're doing that, pop your arm down. So if your legs are coming really forward, pop your arm down. We want you to be lifting from the side of you. So it's almost like the bottom leg is pushing the top leg up. Oh, bit of a wobble there. So if you wobble, you can pop your hands to the floor and then you can come back up again when you're ready. So it really helps to use your exhale up. You should start to feel this through your side waist. We're going to go 3 more here. Lift with that bottom leg if you can. Last one. Pause there. Now this time the legs stay down. To start with, put that top hand on the floor and you need that hand that's on the bottom to be really flat and wide. As you breathe out, you're going to push into that bottom arm to help lift you up and then bring it back down again. So this hand's just there for a little bit of support and balance. So we're starting to work the back of this shoulder, but also that upper waist. Now, if you're happy there, put your hand on your top thigh. As you push down into that bottom arm, reach away with this top arm. You should be feeling this all through the back of that shoulder and a little bit into that waist. And then take it all the way back down again. If you're on a slidey floor, this means you can normally go a little bit further, but keep this bottom arm a little bit in front of you. Reach the hand down as you push into the floor. Try to keep those feet on the floor. It's harder if you do it that way as well, because we're really then working through that upper part. Big breath out. Keep that push. So we want opposite sides working. We're going to do 3 more. Last 2. Are you still pushing into that bottom arm? That's really going to start to work that shoulder and we want that to help us. Last 1. And rest. Bend those knees, take that ball out, and we're going to switch it round to the other side. So ball at your feet. Come and have a little lie down. And then from here, again, palm down on the floor. Put the ball, doesn't quite feel like it's comfortable, where it's comfortable. And again, it's kind of awkward on this side. I'm feeling like I'm not quite in the middle of that ball. Okay, so bottom hand onto the floor. Top hand can just rest on the floor for a bit and just feel that rotation in the legs. From there, reach the legs away. See if you can start to lift and lower. So again, it's that sense of keeping the upper body still. So we don't want to kind of crunch into that side. We want to keep a little bit of space, and when we start to lose that space, we can start to lower down. So feel where your rib cage is, and then can you work from there. When you'll feel happy that you can have a very light top hand, can you take it off? And again, there's everything working on the underside of you to help you to balance. You're pressing with that bottom leg, so you should feel inner thighs up into this kind of side tummy muscle. So if you cup your waist kind of around the top of your hip crest, whoop, you should feel that your, I'm gonna have to go down there again. You should feel that your tummy is getting a little bit harder. So you can see I had a big wobble, so I just reconnected, put my hand back on the floor again, and when I'm ready, I'll come back up to the side. So we're going to go 4 more there. Again, really working into that end of range. Trying to keep those legs going straight up and away. So you're reaching away, lifting through that bottom leg. Last 2. 1 more. And then pause here, just put that hand on the floor, make sure this bottom arm is really nice and straight. Press into the floor with your legs. And as you breathe out, press down into that arm to start to let you come up and back down again. Ooh, very wobbly on that side. Okay, we're gonna go again. So as you breathe out, press down into the arm to come up. Good. You can reach the hand down by the side if you want. Again, press into the arm and reach away. So if you reach that arm down the top leg, trying to keep those feet on the floor, trying to stay in a really nice straight line rather than folding at the hip and sitting your bottom back. So we want to stay really nice and long, almost like if you had a wall behind you, you'd be sliding up and down it. So I'm definitely finding it harder on this side. I don't quite feel as connected into my shoulder, but that is my weaker side. So I'm having to work a little bit harder to balance, but also to not just hoik myself up. So we're going to go 3 more. Again, feet staying on the floor, so pressing into that ground. I lost it on that one. Last 2. Can you keep those feet on the floor as your body's still in a straight line? Take a look down if you're not sure. Last 1. Push, little bit of a hold. And then all the way down again. Bend those knees, take the ball out, press yourself up into sitting. And we're going to come just into sitting. You can just leave the ball by the side. We're going to grab it in a minute. I'm going to pop it there just in case it falls off the deck. And we're going to have your hands behind your thighs. And we want to stay nice and upright here. We're going to just do a little bit of a hinge practice. So you want to tip behind your sitting bones. The ideal is that you're keeping everything in a straight line like a door. And then you can just come back up again. So your arms are there to give you support. So you're going to tip back and then come forward. So we're not rolling and flexing here. We're just maintaining that tip. Your rib cage is staying connected to the front of you. So there's no flexion involved. I want you to stay in that hinge. We're hinging around your hips. Now when you're happy with that, I want you to grab your ball back and you're going to reach it out in front of you. So we want to give it a little bit of a squeeze, predominantly from that little side of your fingers, so you feel those, the little finger side of your hand, so you feel those armpit muscles kick in. And then from here, As you keep that press, again, we're just going to hinge back. So now it'll be a little bit more on your tummy muscles. Keep an eye on that ball. So chin parallel to floor, you're just holding it here and you're feeling those tummy muscles support you. And then just reach the ball forward to tip it back up on top of your sitting bones. We're going to come again. So press into that outside of your hand. Start to tip and hinge back, keeping an eye on the top of the ball. Is your rib cage still in line with your pelvis, or are you arching? Really try and let your rib cage settle towards the front of you, and then reach those hands forward to come back up. We're going to do a couple more like that. So hinge it back, hold it there. Can you keep that breath? Can you really feel that you're on the back of your sitting bones, that your chest is a little bit higher, but your rib cage is still connected? And then bring it all the way back up. Last one, have that press. That's just going to help you connect into some of those big muscles in your back. Hold it there. Keep that press. And then reach it all the way forward. So we're going to bring in some arm movements here. So again, find that press, hinge it back, pause there, and then reach those arms up above you and back to the front, and we're going to go again. So as the arms go high, it's going to be much harder to keep that connection in your tummy. And you're going to maybe even want to flex, but I want you to stay in that hinge position. So we're going to come one more here. Hold, reach the ball forward, come back up. We're going to do the same thing. So hinge it back, lift the arms, lower the arms. Keep going. So you might find it helpful to lift on an exhale. That way you can really connect through your tummy. You should be feeling the front of your hips a little bit here, your tummy muscles. We'll go one more. And then reach the ball forward to come back up. Okay, this time we're going to hinge it back. Hold it there. You're going to twist your rib cage around your spine to face one side. Turn it back to the center. Are you still in your hinge? Twist round to face the other side. Turn it back to the center. Are you still in your hinge? We're going to go again. So you're turning your rib cage around your spine, but we're staying on the back of your sit bones. This is movement from your upper back. Pause at the center, reach the ball forward to come back up again. We're going to go again. Press into the ball, tip it back, turn, keep an eye on that ball, back to the center, and then turn to the other side. Back to the center. Couple more. So you're keeping that rib cage turning around this tight axis. We're not deviating sideways. And then all the way back up again. Hold it there. You're going to lose that ball. Just bring your feet heel to heel. Let your legs just flop out to the side just so you can give that groin, give those hip flexors a little bit of release. You can have a bit of a wobble here as well. And then when you're ready, we're actually going to come back onto your side, but we're going to stay on your hands. So let your legs come back out. We're going to come onto your hands, and your fingers are going to be reaching more towards the front part of the mat. Legs are going to be nice and out long, and you can either stack your feet on top of each other, or you can come one foot behind the other. But we're going to start to come towards our side plank. So from here, the first thing I want you to do is see if you can get your body forward so you feel that bit of a stretch into the undersurface of you. Knees are a little bit bent here and we're strong into our arm. I'm just going to unhook my thumbs so I've got a bit better base of support. So from here, we're going to come straight up into our side plank. So as you take a big breath out, press down into your feet, press down into your arm, other arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Here's our side plank. And then from there, just bend your knees, come back down again. So again, adjust if you need to feel where your arm is comfortable, and we're going to come back up. So press into that arm first. Feel that connection into your shoulder. As you breathe out, reach the top hand into the floor, press into the floor with your other hand to come up. Is your whole body facing me? And then from there, slowly bend the knees like you're sending your hips towards the floor really slowly. That's going to work you all through that side. We're going to come again. Big breath in, big breath out. Stand into the hands, stand into the feet, reach the arm up. Imagine I'm on your middle finger. We're going to delay that middle finger. So really slowly, how slowly can you bend the knees? Really slowly, all the way down. One more there. Big breath in, big sigh. Push into that side plank. Are you strong into that bottom arm? We want that undersurface of you working, so whole body facing me. Last time, slowly press into that arm, slowly bend those knees all the way down and rest. We're going to switch sides. So come onto that other side for me. Again, hand reaches kind of pointing slightly towards the front of your mat. Legs either stacked on top of each other or one behind the other. Knees a little bit bent. And from there, we're just going to come straight up into your side plank. You want to feel that little bit of a stretch every time you come down. Are you ready? Big breath in. Breathe out. Up you come. Reaching that hand towards the sky. Hips forward for me. And then from here, slowly, you're pulling those knees forward. You're pushing away into that ground to come down. Light touch. Nice breath in again. Sigh your way out to come up. Hips are forward. Can you delay those knees? It's like you're pulling the knees forward. You're trying to get really long through this undersurface. How slow can you come down and rest? Couple more. So press that hand up, all the way up. Hold that bit of a side plank. And then again, pull the knees forward. Imagine you're lengthening, so you're pressing away a little bit with that bottom arm. You're pulling the knees towards me as you sit down really slow. Good, so you can see I'm getting a little bit deeper every time I come, and I can really feel that in the side of me. We're going to do one more there. Nice breath in, big breath out to push and lift. Stay strong in that plank, really press the bottom arm away from you. And then pull the knees forward, really slow. How slow can you go as you tip that bottom towards the floor, really slowly, and land. Come all the way up. We're going to quickly stretch out that side. So tuck your foot behind you. We want the top of that foot on the floor, bottom of your foot just cupping your bottom. And all we're going to do is come over into our side tip mermaid and then back over to the other side. So you're going to feel a much deeper stretch if you keep your bottom on the floor, but also you'll feel a much deeper stretch as we go over the kind of back leg. So just do a couple more there. Keeping that supporting arm, shoulder away from your ear. Last one to that side or to each side. And then from there, we're going to swing those legs around, switch round to the other side. Again, we're just going to come over into your mermaid, keeping that space between your shoulder and ear, and then back over to the other side so you get that really deep side stretch on the other side. So if you really use those triceps to kind of lower you down, you'll keep that space. It's like you're pulling your elbow towards the floor. You'll feel that tricep work a little bit. And then you can press into that arm to send you back up and over. Last one each side. And then pause. Take a break, and well done. Thank you very much for joining me on that class. And if you wanted to make it a little bit harder, you could just throw in a little bit of weight into your arms, particularly for that first series. Any questions, let us know, and I look forward to seeing you soon.